It is now a brand new year, and with that comes an entirely brand new set of disappointment going to be happening with the gaming industry, and also on top of that with basically anyone trying to buy a computer in the next couple of years. The amount of insanity happening because of AI and the insane amount of greed happening as well really knows no bounds. We've talked about this on the channel before, and we're going to keep reporting on all the breaking developments, mostly because this entire thing is going to hell in a handbasket faster than a cat on a hot tin roof. I'm from the South. It'd be like that sometimes. And we've seen everything happen across the board. Everything from RAM getting a price increase to 400% at some points. We're now seeing SSDs get a price increase as well. CPUs seem to be on the safe side. We've also seen companies like OpenAI buy up 40% of all the wafers. And even Microsoft and Satya Nadella admitting themselves they have warehouses full of GPUs and not enough power to put any of those GPUs to in fact work. They're just buying everything up to hold on to it. Even though at some point, you know how things go, they're going to have to upgrade those components as well, dumping all that e-waste into a landfill and doing nothing with it while giving you scraps in return. But unfortunately, we are going to be reliving the 2020s and even earlier before that with the crypto boom as well, because it turns out that both Nvidia and AMD are now going to be increasing the prices of their GPUs starting now. Because according to Insider Gaming, Nvidia is pushing the RTX 5090 prices to $5,000 in 2026, a rumor claims. $5,000 for a graphics card is what Nvidia wants to charge you, simply because they're getting more money out of AI data centers and everything else happening in between. Remember when I said that GPUs shouldn't cost $1,000? Hell, they shouldn't cost $2,000, and the 5090 shouldn't be costing that much in the first place, because in reality it is nothing more than a workstation card, basically designed to make Blender Futanari animations. Remember when people called me crazy when I said that? Well, now they're turning around and they're wanting to charge $5,000 for that GPU, which means they're now increasing the floor of everything else. And we are in fact going backwards in time and in actual compute power, because now we're getting restricted to 8 gigabytes of VRAM across the board. So either developers have to get better with their games, or we're just going to be basically just not being able to play anything at all except for going on the cloud. And we'll talk about that too. But the article from Insider Gaming has more to say. In a recent claim from Newsys, a South Korean outlet, it was stressed that we're just seeing the beginning of a monumental and borderline ridiculous price hikes in the GPU space. The report explained that sources have suggested a climb in the RTX 5090 stakes from $1,999 at launch this year to as much as $5,000 later in 2026. AMD's RX 9000 series is apparently set to mimic that ticket growth, but not as steeply. I want everybody to catch that last part of that sentence. People have been commenting on my videos recently saying, "Goodbye Nvidia, hello AMD," not realizing that AMD is also providing 6 gigawatts of AI power to OpenAI with their hardware as well. Remember, like I've said before, AMD is in fact Nvidia's cousin, and they'll do anything they possibly can to mimic whatever Nvidia does, because they're always 2 steps behind and they never make the right decision in the first place, especially for the customer and consumer. And the crazier part is the 9000 series GPUs are in fact really good. They're actually a great buy if you can get them right now, especially at MSRP, because it took them about a year to get back down to MSRP from their original launch, which is even crazier because now AMD wants to follow the exact same ticket pricing that Nvidia is doing for their GPUs on the consumer side. We are being priced out by every single competitor in the actual gaming space. And again, we can't even trust Intel either, because Intel also gave millions of their shares to Nvidia as well for billions of dollars. So no matter what company you're a part of, no matter what brand you like to represent, it's all a bunch of nothing in your face, as they're literally doing everything they can to screw you as a customer and consumer and trade money back and forth between each other, while the entire global economy rests on about 5 companies. And I just can't, because the thing is, Blade Runner is not supposed to be a documentary. And that's really what's making me angry about this entire thing, is the fact that right now there is no good way or good ability for you as a consumer to either A, play video games, have compute power at all, or even in the first place have anything that you can probably own. That's why I'm so worried about the Steam Machine, and that it could be the one last bastion of proper computing power that you as a customer consumer can actually have, as all these companies put tons of billions of dollars into AI data centers and they all share money between each other. The only thing they're going to be pushing to you as a customer and consumer is in fact the ability for you to sign up for their service and then stream all that actual game or anything else like that, or that compute power to you, basically making you rent your own PC, even though that's exactly what they want. They want you to not have ownership at all whatsoever, and they're going to do whatever they can to make the price incredibly high for you as a customer and consumer to buy any piece of product in the first place, whether it's a console, whether it's a graphics card, or even a form factor PC, like with what Valve is doing. And we're already seeing the ramifications about this, because even though the Steam Machine only has 8 GB of VRAM, we're seeing laptops go back to that as well. We're seeing reductions in RAM across the board, and then even seeing things like pre-built PCs come without RAM sticks at all for you to actually get your own RAM inside of them. That's what she said. And at the same time, even solder your own RAM to the actual kit itself. Or even the worst case scenario, use SO-DIMM actual converter kits for your actual PC. So you take laptop RAM and then put that in your PC to use in the first place. It's gonna get bad. But there's more to the article, so get ready. According to the article by Newsys, both companies are reportedly planning to continue raising GPU prices every month going forward. It's highly likely that the price increases will extend across their entire GPU product lineup, encompassing not only consumer GPUs, but also GPUs for AI data centers and servers. The average portion of memory in the overall GPU manufacturing cost has recently exceeded 80%. Insider Gaming also continues by saying this: unfortunately, the situation is having an impact on all areas of technology. Recent concerns surfaced regarding the development of PlayStation 6, the cell phone space is getting shaky, and RAM prices reached an all-time high in 2025. And that last part alone is honestly incredibly terrifying. We're seeing the entire technology industry, it doesn't matter what part you like to enjoy or what part is actually exciting to you, completely collapse under the entire weight of AI, and every single major company who's behind it and also providing the manufacturing for it is also doing everything they can to be as greedy as possible and push you out as a consumer. We've seen everything going around of Nvidia with the rumors saying they're going to reduce GPU production for consumers by 40 to 50% in this coming year. And it sounds like those rumors may in fact have been true, simply because if they're going to raise the price of the 5090s to $5,000, it would also make sense to them to restrict the actual supply to validate those price increases as well. What we're going to be talking about, though, is the fact that Reuters had an incredible scoop recently about what's happening with China and Nvidia as well, seeing as how even though Gamers Nexus did fantastic journalism talking about the smuggling of GPUs into China from Nvidia, it turns out that that's not enough for Jensen. It apparently never is. According to Reuters, saying Nvidia sounds out TSMC on new H200 chip order as China demand jumps, sources say. On the 31st of December, Nvidia is scrambling to meet strong demand for its H200 artificial intelligence chips from Chinese technology companies and has approached contract manufacturer Taiwan Semiconductor, TSMC, to ramp up production. Chinese technology companies have placed orders for more than 2 million H200 chips for 2026, while Nvidia holds just 700,000 units in stock, two of the people said. The talks between Nvidia and TSMC and details of the Chinese demand have not been reported before. The pricing has also not been reported earlier. Nvidia has decided which H200 variants it will offer to Chinese clients and priced them around $27,000 per chip, the source said. That's right, I didn't stutter. First, it was Nvidia going around and having their GPUs smuggled into China and making all that money there. Now they're literally on the books making $27,000 per chip with TSMC, and that's how they're going to want to do things in the future. This is exactly why we're seeing all this inflated pricing and cost of what's happening with AI in the future right now, and even in the space of personal computing and having your own compute power. These companies are making more money hand over over fist giving these chiplets and giving these GPUs and everything else across the board to these other AI companies to provide that space in the first place farther than they can with any other company in the first place. It's going to get worse before it emphatically, unfortunately, gets better. And it's going to take about a year or two before that even happens, in my personal opinion, or unless the bubble, in fact, bursts exponentially. But if anybody believes that they are in fact safe and it's only going to be the PC builders who want to go ahead and enjoy this hobby that are going to be impacted, they are in fact completely misinformed. Every single time we've talked about this before, we've seen every other major chip manufacturer, Samsung, SK Hynix, and even Micron either completely leave the consumer space or renegotiate their contracted agreements with other major companies and corporations. We've seen Samsung double the price of the RAM for the contracted agreements as well right now, and it's going to exponentially increase across the board. And these companies will in fact not absorb this cost, and they'll pass that on to you as a customer and consumer, causing you to pay more money for your electronics, thereby forcing you into providing you the actual thing that they really want, which is consistent monthly revenue, thereby forcing you into a subscription service model, which is exactly what we're seeing every company do right now. And pretending like these companies or corporations have your best interest is really going to put you in the back burner as well. The thing is, though, we're already seeing the ramifications right now. And it's just the first of the year. Because according to videocards.com, ASUS officially announces price hikes from January 5th, right before CES in 2026. In a letter, ASUS points to higher costs and supply volatility tied to AI-driven demand, with memory and shortage called out directly. The company mentions DRAM and NAND and SSD components, plus upstream supplier capacity shifts and higher investment costs for advanced manufacturing. ASUS explains the change as a move to keep supply stable and maintain product quality and service levels. ASUS did not list affected models. It only says some product combinations and configurations will see changes, and that business reps will share details. Presumably, the price increase will affect anything with memory and storage. Laptops, PCs, GPUs? That's right, in just a few days, ASUS themselves are going to be increasing the price on basically everything right before CES as well. So if you haven't gotten yourself an Xbox ROG Ally X, you might even see this increase in price as well. My guess will be a couple of $100, maybe around $1,200 is where you're probably going to be seeing this baby go, honestly, from the $1,000 it already costs, which honestly, it's not even worth it right now. If I were you, I would just get a Steam Deck, because clearly, in my personal opinion, it is in fact a just better device overall with SteamOS. But if you really want to future-proof yourself without spending more than $1,000, you're probably going to have to go with this as well, because it looks like things are unfortunately going to get worse before I don't even know if they're going to get better at all, honestly. Seeing price increases happen just a few days into the new year, especially with everything happening right now, is not a good sign overall. Seeing Nvidia completely play both sides of the political sphere after basically just getting caught by Gamers Nexus with all the massive amount of smuggling, AMD following right behind, Nvidia as well, even though AMD has the contracts with PlayStation and as well as Microsoft for the next generation of consoles. And to make matters even worse, the Switch 2 also going around and being developed by Nvidia as well. We're going to see constraints happen across the board, and it's just the beginning of what I would consider to be the actual end of proper ownership of anything of compute power or even performance in the modern age. And why do I say that? Look at this. On Twitter, Windows Central Gaming says this: gamers might not love it, but 2026 is shaping up to be the cloud's big power play. Remember a couple of videos back when I told everybody to watch out for this? You're going to be seeing companies, articles, websites, and etc. talk more about cloud gaming and the infrastructure that they're going to be building out for you as a consumer to save you more money month over month, even though we've seen Xbox completely do the exact same thing, poison everything else around them, raise the prices of everything, and then sell you the actual cure for what they've been doing themselves. Again, we've talked about this before. The everything is an Xbox model that everyone made fun of of is exactly what these companies want. They don't want you to own actual devices. They don't want you to have proper compute in your hands. They want you to use whatever you have right now and then sign up to their service and give them money every single month, because a recurring transaction is far better for them than a one-time deal. Buying a console once every 5 years isn't enough money for them. They want you to buy a service every single month and be recurring, and then they can monetize you in that service every single time. That's what they're planning on doing. Nvidia's doing it with their GeForce Now, and then locking you to 100 hours of game time every single month, and then providing an ad-supported option. Xbox is doing the exact same thing, raising the price of Game Pass as well, and then also rumored going around to provide a free ad-supported option as well. And you can bet your sweet bippy they're going to be putting ads in the paid one too, because they got to make more money anyways. And you're going to be seeing PlayStation push their PlayStation Plus service. Hell, they've already started to do that right now with their PS Portal. You no longer need a PS5 console to use that device on its own. You can simply stream everything from their data network and their servers to that device, thereby not needing a PS5 Pro at all, or even a PS5, or dare even say a PlayStation 6. The ridiculous behavior of people shoving their head into the sand like ostriches and not realizing what is in fact happening really is comedic to see. This isn't about fanboyism anymore. This isn't about Xbox versus PlayStation or PlayStation versus PC. This is about entire multi-billion-dollar corporations screwing you as a customer and consumer, and then doing nothing to provide you any benefit whatsoever. Everything people stand for, everything people want going around and then infighting between each other about my plastic box being your better than plastic box really is the most issue to see right now. That's not the point of all of this. What's happening is in fact insane, and watching these multi-billion-dollar corporations basically teeter the entire world's economy between 4 or 5 of them, and decide at any point whenever they want to go ahead and raise the price on you and provide you nothing in return is exactly what's going to be happening. I'm going to be ringing the alarm bells about it until it actually happens, because unfortunately I feel like I'm actually probably going to be right about this. I would rather be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I'm praying I'm wrong, but I feel like for some reason I'm going to be right. And that's really a terrifying thing. And if you don't believe me, take a look at this. Right now, we are seeing the fact that memory providers are in fact cherry picking customers on who they're going to sell their RAM to. How does it just get worse? I record, I set things up, I put it together, and then I get a tweet saying, hey, look at this. And it just gets worse every time. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. These companies are going to do everything they can to remove control from you as a customer and consumer. And it's going to get exponentially worse over time unless this entire bubble pops. And when it does, it's going to have a massive blowback, simply because a lot of this tech that we're seeing going into AI can't be used by a regular customer or consumer. It's just going to be led to e-waste as well. And honestly, I'm incredibly horrified about what's going to be happening. And at some point, I'm hoping for some good news. Maybe this will fall the same way that NFTs did. Hopefully. Kind of. Please. Do it. But you know what? I want to hear what you guys have to say about this in the comments section down below. Do you think the AI bubble will pop? Are you going out today and getting yourself a new GPU? Are you upgrading right now to avoid all these issues? Or are you just going to say, I'm going to hold off, see what Valve and Steam are going to do, and then go from there? Because clearly things are getting really weird. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. If you want to see more of this kind of content, though, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, my hot takes in the gaming industry, and live streams every Saturday night at 8:45 p.m. Eastern, subscribe to the channel. We're actually on our way to 103,000 subs, so I just want to say thank you guys so very much for that. I really do appreciate you guys. It really does mean the world to me. If you want Discord access, though, or most during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. And if you don't want to spend the buck to get Discord access or most during live streams, don't worry about it. Just come on down Saturday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, live right here on the channel, as I wear a banana suit and get insulted by about 800 people with TTS. It's a hell of a show. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. With all that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you gooners next time. Peace!